Hey YouTube, this is David with davidclarkphotoblog.com. Today I'm going to show you how to go from the auto settings into the manual settings. It's really quite simple. All you need to do is switch your camera over to auto, get a meter reading, so press the shutter speed halfway down and it will pick up a meter reading and it will show you what your camera should be set on in order to shoot. Now you're asking yourself, why not just use auto and not even go into the manual settings at all? Well, you need to start getting comfortable with what your camera can do. So if you have it on auto setting and you go ahead and press halfway down, you get a meter reading, it shows you, you start to get familiar with how your camera sees light. And light is very important when it comes to photography. So if you can do this and start seeing how your camera sees light and how your camera record, or what your camera wants as far as settings, then you can switch over to manual and it'll be a lot easier to shoot because you'll be comfortable with your camera. You'll know exactly what the settings are and you'll know how to get the correct exposure in the manual settings. I suggest that everyone go to manual settings, especially if you have a DSLR camera, use the manual settings because that's what separates your images from other images, because you have more control. You can do what you want to do with your photography. So I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. It's very simple. We'll get a meter reading in auto. I'll show you what the settings are, and then I'll show you how to switch over into manual settings, and you can duplicate that. Okay, so let me show you how to set your camera up in auto and then switch over to manual settings. First thing you do is you want to put your camera in auto. So I put my camera in auto. Now I'm going to use my finger here on the shutter, halfway press the shutter down, and it will give me a reading. In this case, it's showing me a shutter speed of 200, an f-stop or aperture of 2.8, and an ISO of 800. So I remember that setting, and I switch my camera over to M or manual, and then I just duplicate that. So my shutter speed, I want my shutter speed at 200. My f-stop, my aperture f-stop at 2.8, and then my ISO at 800. So that should give me a correct exposure when I take this shot. It might not be, it might actually be a little off. So I can move my shutter speed, or I can close down my aperture depending on what the situation is, or I can raise my ISO. Okay, so just something to think about when you're shooting. You can go into auto, full auto, find out what the settings are by pressing the shutter halfway down and getting a meter reading, and then go back to manual and mess around and figure out exactly how your camera sees light and how your camera can get the correct exposure. Okay, please comment, rate, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.